Hey sis, are you single as we approach Christmas and you kind of almost are dreading the holidays just because of that? Listen, I get your struggle. I've been there, done that, and I want to help you. I have 5 things I want to share with you that every single woman must do at Christmas because there's things you can actually do to make your holidays a whole lot merrier. Listen, my name is Stacy Speller. I am a relationship expert. I help ambitious women just like you have the life and love of your dreams. So be sure to subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up so that I know you like content like this. And if you're really serious about having the life and love of your dreams, I've got something for you. It's a free guide. We love free. And it's the top ways that you could actually be sabotaging your love life. So be sure to check it out. The link is here. Download it. I think it'll really help you. So you're approaching the holidays. And again, I do not want to minimize this at all because I have been there. I had a guy who betrayed me. Long story short, some of you know my story where I thought he was the one. I thought he was actually getting ready to propose to me. Fancy restaurant, the whole 9 yards. We had been dating each other for about almost 10 months. And in walks his pregnant, very pregnant fiance. And oh yes, she did have a ring on her finger. She clowns on me, calls me all kinds of names in this fancy restaurant. I mean, it was just horrible. Drama, 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 self-esteem, deflated, everything. And that was just a few weeks before the Christmas holidays. Now I love Christmas, right? But now I've been sucker punched to the gut. My heart feels like it's been trampled and Christmas is coming. And oh, by the way, relatives, family, I'm all thinking that this is going to be the one. And now I've got to contend with this. The hurt, the anger, all of it, right? So I get it. And I know how stressful that can be. And so that's why I want to give you these 5 things that can really help with your Christmas. So the first thing that I need you to do is I need you to get honest with how you feel. Because here's the thing. There is nothing more exhausting than having to pretend everything is fantastic. That is so exhausting. It's emotionally draining. You're putting this energy into pretending that everything is great. And I need you to know and give yourself permission that you can be happy for other people, the people that are in good relationships, the people that are living their best life, whatever's going on. You can be happy for others, but still be able to honor how you feel. Because guess what? If you're not honest with yourself, first of all, God can't even help you if you're not honest with yourself. And what happens is when you're not honest with yourself, it causes you, because you're struggling to have to give the energy to act like, oh, everything's so wonderful. I'm so good. You know, especially in Christian circles, praise the Lord. God is amazing. Yes, he is. But oh, by the way, I'm still in a dark place. And when you're not honest with yourself, it'll cause you to isolate and then you kind of shut down. And the worst thing you can do is that, because then the enemy loves to minister to you in your solitude. So when you're honest, you can kind of find support and it allows other people to kind of know where you are. Again, you're not trying to be Debbie Downer, but you're just being honest and you're not putting the energy in trying to pretend, and you're honoring actually how you feel. And then you got to work through it. You got to say, okay, why is this so important? Like, what is really going on? Like, why is this so hard? How would my holidays really be any different if I had this relationship? Because if you love Christmas, like your girl here does, then how would it really be any different? And so you've got to be willing to work through that and then give those emotions, those negative emotions that are creating that feeling, you got to give that an expiration date and say, you know what? I got to move forward. I'm going to move forward with some joy and tell your feelings like, girl, you can catch me later. I'm going to have some Christmas joy. So after you are honest with yourself, then set an expiration date for those feelings. The second thing is I want you to focus on what you can control, namely your peace and your sanity. Because what happens is, unlike a Christmas movie, and I'm not being shady toward Christmas movies, because God knows I start watching them right at Thanksgiving time, and I will watch them every single day. I mean, I am that girl. Love a good Christmas movie. Yes, they're cheesy. Yes, you know how they're going to end. All that's fine and well, but I love a good Christmas movie. But unlike in a Christmas movie, because I obviously watch them and see different dynamics, I just kind of dissect them all. But the reality of it is you don't go from just all of a sudden you don't know where things are in life, and then an hour and a half later it's all neatly tied up in a bow and you've got this great guy and everything's wonderful. That's not real life. So when you focus on what you can control, you want to be able to set really good boundaries, because what happens is you get the toxic ex who ghosted you wants to all of a sudden come out of the woodworks. 6 months later, 8 months later, you look on your phone and he's got a text like, hey, or what's going on, or you still mad, all those kind of foolishness. Now they call it gaslighting. That's a new word in the dictionary, but it's foolishness. And so you want to be able to set boundaries of what you will and will not accept, the things you can control, which are peace and sanity. Same thing with family. And family can be lethal, because when I had my situation where I was alone for Christmas, had that horrible betrayal and breakup, I actually didn't even want to go to the Christmas family gathering, because I'm like, everybody's going to be asking me and I don't want to have to talk about it. And what am I going to say? Creating this entire narrative in my head like we do. And I had to recognize that I get to set the boundary to protect my peace and my sanity, that I'm valuable enough to have a boundary that's going to protect my peace and my sanity. So you can control that. So let's say you've got, it's nothing like those well-meaning, nosy, busybody relatives. She's usually an aunt or a cousin, always the aunts and the cousins. And she wants to know what's going on, and they're asking you about your love life, and oh, you're so wonderful, why are you still single, or what happened to that guy you were dating, or what about this and what about that, and they're just going on and on and on, and meanwhile it's triggering you and you don't even want to talk about it. So here's the best remedy for nosy, busybody, well-meaning relatives. Go straight Bible on them. Because they have no comeback for Bible. The Bible's the best clapback there is. I'm just saying, because there is okay, you want to go argue with the Word of God, have at it, but you're not going to sit here and stress me out. So they ask you, oh, what's going on? How's it going? Like I had somebody at my family gathering when I was by myself. Oh, what happened to that guy? I thought he was going to be the one, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? You just look nosy, busybody relative in her good eye. And you just basically say, you know what? I am believing God for his best and for the desires of my heart. And I'm sure you would like to do the same for me. And that's all I have to say about it. Done, period, the end. And be good with just that, where I'm not going to talk about this. I'm not going to get triggered. I'm not going to ruin my time trying to contend with this, and be okay with doing that. You get to control your peace and your sanity. Then the third thing is, I want you to get intentional. Get intentional. Start looking forward to creating the life you love, because God has a plan for you. And the plan is to give you the desires of your heart. So the real question is, are you ready and prepared and expecting to receive them, to have the love and the life that you actually deserve, the one that you actually want? And start vision casting of what your life could look like when you get intentional, to be ready for love and that rich relationship, and to say, okay, what am I going to do differently in this coming new year that's going to get me the result I want? Because if you keep doing the same thing, getting the same result, you know that's the definition of insanity, right? And sure, it calls for getting uncomfortable and stepping out of your comfort zone, and even maybe feeling a little risk involved. Think about it, like when Peter had to get out of the boat, like you have to step out of the boat in order to see the miracle kind of come to pass. And let's be real, ladies, unless you plan on dating and connecting with the UPS man or the Amazon man, no shade there. But unless you plan on connecting with him, Mr. Right is not going to come snatch you out of your place and come get you. You have to be intentional about being found. In order to do that, start vision casting and saying, I'm doing something different for next year so that I can have the love that I desire. That's what I actually did when I had that horrible situation go down. I realized, I said, next year's going to look totally different. I went from that hot mess situationship where I was that unintended, not even knowing side chick, even though there were red flags. I ignored them. That's a whole nother video. But I went from that to a happy marriage in a year because I got intentional. So when you can start vision casting for getting intentional for the love and the life that you actually want. Then the fourth thing is, you got to give yourself permission to spark some joy, to do what it takes to enjoy your actual holidays. If you love the holidays and you look forward to it, you've got to get intentional. Like at some point, you've got to take your life off layaway and say, I still want to enjoy my holiday in spite of what's going on with Mr. Right or Mr. Wrong, possibly. Probably actually the guy who's not committing or not giving you what you want. You still got to spark joy and say, you know what? When I have, it's that narrative, well, when I have a great guy for the holidays, then I'll enjoy it. Or when I have love, or when he finally commits, or when he changes, like all the narrative we tell ourselves. No, you do what you need to do to enjoy the holidays. And don't let your situation hijack your joy. So whatever you enjoy doing, if you like decorating, the lights, your trees, the candles, a poinsettia, whatever it is, Christmas gatherings, as you process your feelings, still go out and enjoy yourself for the holiday. And who knows, Mr. Right may be at the holiday gathering for all you know, but you won't know if you're home feeling sorry for yourself, right? So be ready to spark some joy in your life. It's a season of joy. They call it that for a reason. And then the fifth thing that you absolutely have to do, all of us really should be doing, is limiting social media and television and putting it in perspective. Now, here's what I mean by that. You already know that social media is everybody's like best highlight reel. They show you what they want you to see. But there's something that deep inside that'll trigger you. If you see everybody else, who's posting like, oh, look, Bae got me this, or, all this, he's a high value guy, he bought me that, or did this for Christmas, or we're in Aspen for Christmas skiing, or we're doing yada, yada, all of these things. And you're taking all of this in and you're thinking about what you don't have. And then the enemy's ministering to you in that and making you spiral and trigger and so out of control. And then you're like, oh my God, how did I get here? I can tell you how you got there because you let yourself go there by what you were willing to take in. If you know you get triggered, if you know you feel some kind of way after a breakup or betrayal or the guy that's not committing or whatever's going on in your life, then limit what you actually take in, and what you do see, put it into perspective. Sis, let me tell you something. If there's no diamond ring, there's no diamond necklace, no bracelet, no car with a bow, all of those things that keep getting bombarded with us of everything we need to have holiday joy and enjoy the holidays, you're still going to be good because the greatest gift was actually already given to you. The gift of God's love and His grace. So you've got to put it in the proper perspective that you're going to be okay if that doesn't happen for Christmas. Let me tell you something. I'm living my absolute best life. I've never gotten a car, a ring, or anything like that for Christmas. In fact, my husband tends to buy very practical gifts. This year, I think I'm getting a dishwasher, if that tells you anything. You don't ever see a commercial with a woman happy and excited because she's getting a dishwasher. I'm just saying. So limit and put in perspective everything that you're seeing and everything that's coming at you, okay? So I really hope that helps. I want you to be able to enjoy the holiday season. I love, 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 love Christmas and the new year and the idea of new beginning. And I want that for you as well. So if you have any questions at all, leave them in the comments. Let me know that, be bold enough to declare, you know what, here's the one thing that of these 5 things, I know I can at least do this one thing, or I'm going to do all 5. Let me know in the comments. Again, leave me a thumbs up. Let me know you like this kind of content. Make sure you subscribe and be sure to get your free guide. The link is here, and I'd love to see you in the comments.